Well, that didn't turn out so great, did it?
You okay?
Nah, man. I'm pretty fucking far from okay.
Yeah, don't try this at home. So I didn't really have the energy to set up my lights, so I'm filming in my garage because the light is okay. It's a beautiful fall day here in Arizona. In that sense anyway. So, where to begin? Yeah, yesterday sucked. There's just no doubt about it. It's not the same as it was in 2016 where there was that real shock. Because we kind of know what to expect now. I mean, the difference being is there's no more adults in the room. Instead of General Mattis, Rex Tillerson, you're going to have Elon Musk and worm food, RFK, anti-vax, anti-science, douchebag. So, okay, Tulsi Gabbard, yeah, Russian sympathizer, plant, call her what you will. I'm gonna address this, probably gonna get me banned from YouTube and I don't give a fuck, but this is cigarette because, yeah, I picked up smoking last night. I didn't drink though, which I'm proud of myself for, because in 2016 I got obliterated with booze. And I'm glad I didn't, because I'm waking up pissed off, a bit disheartened, but I'm not hungover. So there's that. I just want to speak to everyone who's like-minded. This is the beginning of Resistance 2.0. You know, we got a clear message from America last night, and it was a message that, you know, broke my heart to hear it. I don't know if I believe all this economy stuff. It was about the economy. I mean, if it was Trump's economy and the stock market was where it was, which is one of those metrics the Republicans always love to use, the unemployment numbers are where they were. Is that really true? I don't know. You know, I mean, yeah, prices suck. That's true everywhere. We're just coming out of a global pandemic that our boy, Donnie Tiny Hands, horribly mismanaged. How many Trump supporters would be alive today had he actually been honest about that from the word go? Anyway, that's history. Now we got to look to the future, which is bleak in many respects. You know, the Justice Department failed us. They failed to hold him accountable. Jack Smith, God bless him, he tried, but he was kneecapped by that awful judge, Aileen Cannon, who very likely could be our next Attorney General. How's that for irony? But you know, Trump remains what he is. He's a fool. He's a coward. He's a maniac. He cares only for himself. And these awful sycophants he has around him, the ones that don't secretly hate him, are going to try to influence policy through him, and that's probably not going to work. A lot of smarter people than Elon Musk or douchebag RFK have tried before, and they've failed. He's going to have the Senate, and depending on what time this video goes up, I mean, and if YouTube doesn't ban it for smoking, I guess we'll see. Maybe he'll have the House too. There was an argument made that had there not been adults in the room last time, that things actually could have come to a head a lot faster. That the adults in the room who stopped him and controlled his worst impulses were actually, in a weird way, did more harm than good, because they hid, you know, even a more extreme level of craziness from the American people. But well, that just remains to be seen. I just want to talk to everyone who's feeling really discouraged. You know, we have to rely on each other. The legal system, you know, it's a joke. The Supreme Court is a joke. You know, they basically said Tiny Hands is a king. Aileen Cannon just threw out the charges on a whim, just to serve her master who appointed her, down in Florida, the classified documents case, that he was hiding in the John, you know, because he's going to be so good on national security. I think as bad as things will be domestically, I worry more about the foreign, international front right now. I think Ukraine's in real trouble. I think Biden should send them everything they need to kick the shit out of Russia before Tiny comes back in and bends the knee to Putin, as he always does. Bends the knee and opens the mouth. That's what he is. That's your alpha, folks. Let me address the keyboard warriors, too, because you guys make me laugh. Do you see tears here, bitches? Do you see that? No, you're not going to find them. Don't mistake rage for weakness, fools. Type all you want. I'm easy to find. Just saying. Easy to find. I give you the opportunity to prove how tough you are, how strong you are. But no, man, we have to look to each other. We have to look to those of us that are in the marginalized communities, the LGBT community, you know, females in general. God only knows what, you know, if they get the House, they're probably going to do a national abortion ban. And I guess that's what the country wants, or at least half the country, or almost half the country. I mean, this time it looks like he's going to win the popular vote, which is, that legitimizes him in a way that he's never been legitimized before, so that'll embolden him even further. I don't know if you guys know, I mean, I'm wearing the Harris shirt here. I had the opportunity and the privilege to volunteer for the Harris campaign, and I'm proud that I did. I met a lot of great people, you know, from all walks of life who recognized Trump for the absolutely horrible, disastrous monster that he is. We didn't win. We fought hard, we didn't win, but we left it all on the field. Knocked on a lot of doors and, you know, did anything in our very limited power to try to bring about a different outcome because we care and we love this country. And because we're patriotic, really patriotic. We don't wear the American flag as a diaper like some other people, you know, but we really care. But what America said is they don't want that right now. They want a failed reality TV show clown. And, you know, here we are. I feel awful for the people in Gaza, despite what the far ultra wacky Jill Stein left believes. Harris would have been a lot better in bringing about a reasonable ceasefire. Israel would be protected, and humanitarian aid, I believe, would have been administered to the people of Palestine. But let's see how Tiny treats the people of Palestine. Let's see how he deals with Bibi Netanyahu. Let's see what restrictions he tries to place on him. Ironically, maybe he will, because Putin might insist that he does. Putin is allied to Iran. Iran backs Palestine in a weird way. Maybe that works out for the people of Palestine. But then that'll be to Israel's detriment. So who wins then? You know, Israel doesn't win then. This tariff thing is really dumb. It's really stupid. Donnie's not a smart man. He never knew how to run a business. I mean, you know, he drove everything he ever stamped his awful name onto right into the ground. And I always felt kind of like we got off easy with the first Trump 1.0, because, you know, I grew up on the East Coast, and, you know, you look at Atlantic City and just the ruin that he turned that city into. A few 100,000 dead from COVID. I said, geez, you know, we're still here as a country. But y'all want to give him control of the economy. A guy running a crypto scam as we speak. Okay. Maybe, you know, selling Bibles and sneakers and whatever other stupid-ass, lame-ass product. But again, dude, we just have to look to each other, that's all. I don't know what Resistance 2.0 is going to look like, and I'm not saying we go out today and, you know, march. There's nothing wrong with marching. I think we should peacefully protest. Hey, MAGA, you're not going to see us storming the Capitol or assaulting police officers. You're not going to find that, because we're better than that. Yep. Harris called Trump and conceded the loss of a free and fair election. And we accept that too, because that's what happened. It was a free and fair election, just like it was in 2020. Elections don't go your way. You don't cry about it. You don't shed your little MAGA tears. No, you man up, you woman up, you deal with it. So, Yeah, I just think we need to follow this very carefully. His assault on the press, that was one of his first major dictatorial things, calling the press the enemy of the people. Whatever you think about the mainstream media, you can criticize specific networks or journalists. That's fine. That's your right. I often criticize aspects of the media myself. But to criticize the press as an institution is right out of the old fascist dictator handbook. And that's where it starts, the enemy of the people. The migrant workforce that this country economically depends on, the enemy of the people. I guess anyone on the left, the enemy of the people, which means half of America is the enemy of the people. Okay. Well, I just think we need to be vigilant, guys, at this point. Let the dust settle a bit, and then wait for him to act. If he does start locking up his foes and, running sham trials, North Korea-style trials, which is, even at this stage, a little hard for me to believe because he has no patience, he has no follow-through. He's a very lazy, weak, fragile, elderly, orange old man, surrounded by very weak men like Elon Musk and Worm Food and Stephen Miller. How does he get that head to shine, that chrome dome of his? How does he do that? Wonderful, man. That guy's got a forehead that lights up like a drive-in movie. But, this is America. This country was founded by controversial figures at this point. There's two Americas that kind of always has been, I guess. Those who thought it was okay to own people and those that knew better. But despite that difference, which is a big difference, we're a nation of fighters. We need to stand up for each other. I'm encouraged today thinking about Dr. Martin Luther King. What he stood up to in the Jim Crow era is far more substantial than what we're facing today. It might not feel that way, but institutionalized racism was such a part of society, and he took it on and he won. And he did it non-violently. He was a true patriot. He loved this country. And, fortunately he paid for it with his life, which many great men and women do, which is the sad thing. But we're not going to surrender. I'm not going to give up. I know you guys aren't going to give up. It's going to be a different world. This is going to have a ripple effect. It's going to take a two-bit washed-up wannabe power like Russia. The only thing more pathetic than their economy is those bumblers they call an army. And yet, the American president is going to get down and bend the knee to that midget over there in Russia. Another little chicken hawk sends how many young Russians to die, but he ain't fighting. He's hiding in his palace. Okay. The NATO kept the peace since World War II, more or less. There's been no major war between major powers. There's been proxy wars, but Trump's going to declare war on them, and he's going to side with a bunch of weak little shit countries like Russia, like North Korea. Okay. And who's going to stand up to him? J.D. Vance? No. He's dumb enough to think he can inherit MAGA once Trump goes. We're surrounded by cowards, guys, but that's not us. The cowards are in Washington, D.C. Those who failed to impeach him after the first insurrection. Those men and those women are cowards. The Justice Department, Merrick Garland's a good man. I believe that. I believe he was too cautious. But did he act soon enough? Obviously not. Jack Smith is a patriot. He was kneecapped. The FBI's become the boogeyman. High-ranking generals have become the boogeyman. And a draft dodger, Bone Spurs, he's the tough guy. He's the one you trust. Okay. But whatever, folks. We soldier on one day at a time. And, you know, we have to look at 2026 now. We have to look to the midterms. I'm convinced that we'll take back the Senate in the midterms. Because, guys, MAGA, he's not going to wave some magic wand and all of a sudden fix everything on day one like he promises. He's an incompetent buffoon. And if you think he fucked up COVID, wait till you see what he does with the economy. The only thing you liked about the economy was what he inherited from Barack Obama. Anyway. Stay strong, folks. Fuck the trolls. Fuck their little bullshit tough guy comments. They use anonymous screen names and they talk shit. But again, dude, fucking bring it, honestly. I'll make myself incredibly easy to find for those bitches out there. I guess I'm done. Stay up, folks. We lost a battle, but the war for the future of this country is still being waged, and it's being waged every day. We've got to keep fighting. You know, as Joe Biden said, when you get knocked down, you get back up. I'm not ready to cede this country to Trump, to nationalism, to racism, to MAGAism. You know, keep up the good fight, folks. I'm still in it to win it, and I hope you are too. Peace.